Hello, my name is Andre V, and I'm the founder of Parcel.Essential. We are living already in the third week of January, and vabandust, on täitsa.
Neljas nädal.
Hello, my name is Andre V, and I'm the founder of Parcel.Essential. January is almost over, and we are looking forward for the first industry prominent event. It's Leaders in Logistics conference in Brussels in 17th and 18th of March. And today we are talking with one of the speakers of that event, Sven Kukemelk from Omniva. Hi, Sven. How are you doing?
Hi, Andre. Good. Great to be here.
It's great to have you here and talk about what you are doing and what you are going to talk in the leaders in logistics. But let's start from the most hot topic. Definitely, at the end of the last year, it was announced that Omniva is going to be privatized. Still, everything on track. You are working on that, and everybody is everything is looking promising.
Yeah, so the end of last year, our government announced that they would be looking into the privatization of Omniva. Having said that, it doesn't necessarily mean too much work on us. We continue work as is because selling of a company is not a decision or a process of a management, but that's actually a process of the owner. So that's where most of that goes. But obviously, we need to be ready to share with the potential owners, new owners, that what we are, etc. But we feel pretty upbeat about the value which we bring onto the market.
Absolutely, and looking forward for the upcoming information about that. But talking about Omniva and what you are doing, last year you introduced several new initiatives, and one thing that really interests me is one of your sort of theses is that last mile delivery company is moving from the logistics company to technology company, and could you bit elaborate what it means that the last mile delivery company is actually technology company? What you are doing in that area?
Great question. When we think about where the postal industry is coming from, so from our background, it was all about here's a letter, here's a newspaper, and to a small extent, parcel which needs to be delivered. So it's all about us building the sorting center, getting the couriers, buying the vans, and all of that. But at the same time, the core of that, and when we look at the competition on the market with the likes of Uber or Bolt or others, then we need to be with the nowadays flexible working models. So that's why, for example, one of the things which really hurts most of the postal operators is that you have an imbalance of volume between the quarters. In Q1, Q2, Q3, you have a certain level, and then Q4 it jumps up. But compared to the airlines, we don't have usually the means to raise the price just for Q4, like double or whatever, because state has regulated rates. You're doing the same rate. So now, how do you manage that without taking too much fixed cost? So for us, it was the technology. We started using the crowd couriers, meaning that at the same way, the Uber or Bolt driver can at the same time deliver the parcels. So they come and pick up the parcels. We don't have any fixed commitment to them, and they get especially during the low season, summertime. You have works in the bars and pubs, whatever. We have it in balance, and actually it works in our favor that these same people are looking for additional activities over the Q4. But actually going further, we see that technology is the backbone of how to remain efficient fast. It's not only the crowd delivery, but same like nowadays, one of the most important vital elements is a phone. It's like everyone has to have one. If your phone breaks down, then are you willing to wait 2 days until you get the new one and order it online, or do you want to get it now? So if we want to be relevant, if we want to be part of that, that means that we need to have an instant delivery. So that's also something which we solve with the crowd delivery, that our courier will go pick it up and in 6 hours you will get yourself a new phone at home. Or things like self-driving car, to make sure that that car is loaded in the sorting center, it drives to a parcel locker, and then there is someone from a crowd perspective who will come and will start offering. For €2, will you empty the car? No. 4? No. 6? No. 12? And certain moment someone will come and empty that car. And the local flower shop will put out a sign, I'll be back in 10 minutes, and will empty the car, and it goes back. So I think that in order to be competitive, and the main slogan for Omniva is not so much about competitive, but to be relevant. Because the postal companies have lost so much of the relevance. In order to be relevant, we need to adapt to the changing technology. You can't resist the change. We are actually trying to create the change, and then we'll see who follows and who dies.
Yeah, this is very interesting, and what I hear from that is that you are going to personalize your service. It is not anymore that there is only one home delivery. You need to check in the checkout. You need to put your home address, and this is a one-way street that the parcel go there. Now there are options. Customers will have different options to choose, and probably those will be also differently priced. It means that the delivery will be a separate product customer can buy or order.
Absolutely, and basically what we are talking about is that we have a home delivery service. So there are still, even though that nowadays, especially with the ESG push, etc., there is a very high preference to have items delivered to parcel locker. There is still a certain segment. If you're getting yourself a fridge, then you don't want to pick it up. You want to get it at home, or a washing machine. It's not necessarily so easy to take it on your back and start going from a parcel locker. So there is always going to be a certain mixture of parcel locker versus home deliveries. And our idea is that irrespective of the method, do you want to get it at home or to the parcel locker or to the, let's say, pickup drop-off point, it is the choice of the customer if you want to get it instant. You want to get it T+1, so next day delivery, or you want to get it in 3 days or 4 days. We need to start differentiating because customer needs are different, and we can't have the expectation that one size fits all. You have different customers with the different expectations, and that's for us the way how to stay relevant.
This is actually what actually the retail or e-commerce has been doing for decades already. They have been personalizing their services. Now this is the turn finally for the logistics service providers to do the same, because again, as you said, every customer is different, and even every parcel is different from the customer point of view. There are some parcels that are really important, and I'm willing to pay tens of euros to get it immediately. And some parcels can wait. So, and then this is exactly what you are talking. This is going technological, because you cannot manage with a human service those kind of complexity. It has to be managed by a software, by probably some kind of AI, and then this should be your platform and your service to offer to the clients.
Yes, like when we think about, let's bring 2 users cases. So oversized bulky item. If you are buying 60-kilo bag of dog food, or you're going to get yourself a fridge, if you're just taking yourself a new fridge because it was a sale, you're probably not going to be in a hurry. If it gets delivered this week or next week, doesn't really matter because the fridge is still working. Versus if the dog food ended, dog needs to eat, so I want it now. Or vice versa. If you saw a dog food sale and you still have 10 kilos left, but the fridge broke down, then you need a fridge now, and then dog food can wait for a week. And that's the thing that we need to, as the e-commerce market is maturing, like in the Baltics today, we have roughly 15, 16 orders per person. In other more mature markets, we're talking in hundreds. So we see a big growth ahead. So in order to sustain that growth, we need to be efficient. And we see efficiency comes from actually having technologically different solutions, so that customers sometimes need the speed, then we will prioritize, and the ones who don't, then we can keep it in a backlog and make sure that our sorting lines, all our deliveries are constantly running at the same pace. And that touches back to what I said before, that historically one of the biggest disadvantages for the efficiency has been fluctuation, that the demand within the week, usually Saturday, Sundays are weak, within the week, Monday is the strongest, etc. And then also between the different months and different quarters.
And this is very interesting. You started this actually, and you constantly are coming back to the fluctuation of the volumes. And this is absolutely true in a sense that the speed of different changes in the environment is speeding up. But it's always also true, I think, we've been talking with you it also recently, that the volume providers or the retailers' demand for the service quality is also increasing, and they are also more flexible to switch the volumes when the terms are not committed. Years ago, it was very easy. You had a long-term commitment with e-commerce, and nothing happened. But now customers are able to switch the volumes very quickly. That makes these fluctuations even more drastic for you.
Yeah, the AI has changed. Like when we think about back, for example, to one very traditional service, airline business before being able to buy plane tickets online, it meant that you had to go to a ticket office, airline ticket office. And if, for example, that airline, Air France, wouldn't have a ticket office in this country, so that meant that you couldn't buy a ticket for Air France, you couldn't fly. And that's the same like before the re-liberalization of the e-commerce market. You were kind of stuck that Estonian Post will deliver items in Estonia and that's it. There is no real alternatives. But now with the rapid increase in AI, everyone makes their own offers for different sizes, for different packages, for different SLAs. We're in a situation where it's a real bazaar or a real market feeling that you can gain, you can lose in a single day. And it's very much, you have to be live. And this is exactly having different products so that you have not only one card in your pocket, but you have different cards. You want a speed? Sure, I have a product for you. You want a price? I have a product for you. You want to have a combination of both? Sure, I will do that. So it is based on customer expectation. And also one thing which has been changing is that historically it was that e-commerce was only for the cheap, that I want to get the cheap price. And that's why especially the Chinese volume started with no tracking and delivery times of 3 to 4 months. Nowadays, then it became all about the speed and tracking and availability. Now it's not so much even about the speed, but it's predictability. If I want to get it on a Wednesday, then don't bring me Tuesday or Thursday. Bring it me on a Wednesday. So it's not about how fast, but actually time-defined deliveries. And that's, I think, something which is something we need to adapt. Or if we don't adapt, then, well, we're not going to be relevant.
Talking about the international volumes, because Omniva is not only in Baltics, but you are doing also international deliveries. What are the most vibrant markets where the growth is going on? What's your professional opinion? Where is the most interesting areas?
I think that, like always, we have the developed and developing markets. And of course, the growth rate wise percentage in Central Asia, Caucasus markets, but also Africa, the growth rates are spectacular. But when you look at the number of more parcels per year, total ones, then irrespective of the super high growth rates, Germany or France will have still more parcels than all of those combined. So we're seeing steady growth across the globe. But there are only very few markets where we are in decline, and that's usually due to the wars and things like that. I still think that, and we in Omniva are betting on the developing markets, because as we talk about globalization, people have a preference for certain brands and getting this brand access. And some of these, especially smaller markets, might have only monopolistic providers on the actual retail side. And online really opens them up the opportunity to use them. So we see that the potential is far higher than for the growth than on the developed markets. And in that sense, we've been upbeat and we've been growing year on year now for 5 years in a row internationally.
So, and to sum up your overall impression or forecast for the ongoing year 2026, what do you think? What kind of year it is going to be for the last mile delivery companies? Is it going to be a good year, excellent year, or extraordinary year?
I think it's going to be unpredictable year. One thing which we've learned over the years is that the cycles. Previously, we would have like recession cycles every 10 years or something like that. But now these black widows or black swans keep coming faster and faster, and the occurrence of these keep coming ever so much. And it's true to the due to the fact also that the media and the messaging is available all the time. So if US president is tweeting something on a Saturday and they will already get on Sunday the response from European Union side, etc., then that makes the cycle very short. And that is the challenge, that we're having ongoing war in Ukraine, which disrupts heavily logistics supply chains. We're having tariffs from US to the goods from Europe. We're having now Europe talking about tariffs for the Americans. We're talking about Europe implementing a new customs charge for the Chinese. So I think that the fast ones, not the big ones, but the fast ones will be the ones who really can have a spectacular year. And the ones who are going to be slow, they can have a really horrible year, because now the speed of keeping up with the compliance has become ever so important.
Okay, I think you consider yourself as this fast one, so you are looking quite a good year ahead.
Hoping that we will be able to keep up the pace, because it's always unpredictability, because if something really major happens, you need to react very fast, and we do have the tendency to move really fast. So we are upbeat at this stage.
Okay, then thank you very much for this discussion, and we are going to see you already soon in the beginning of March in Brussels in Leaders in Logistics conference. So thank you and see you there.
Thank you, Andre.